Senator Rubio.
Thank you, and again, thank you both for your willingness to do this. Let me touch upon something I talked about with both of you when we met individually, and that was trafficking in persons, which I think is a global problem. It's not an issue in Mexico, Guatemala, or just the Western Hemisphere. It's a global problem. I think what I'm concerned about, and I know you share that as well, is that this demand for trafficking in persons is combined with a dysfunctional immigration policy that we have in this country and the presence of a transnational criminal organizations in the region that facilitate this. And I hope it will be a priority for both of you. And I guess the first question is that something you think could be a cornerstone of our involvement and our engagement with these governments? And second, any ideas you may have now or in the future? I know some of you mentioned it in your opening statements about people-to-people contacts and the implications that's had on human smuggling, but any thoughts you could share with us about what we can do on this end of the equation to make that a priority issue?
Senator, thank you very much. I fully agree with the priority that you've suggested on trafficking in persons. When I was ambassador to Argentina, this was one of my very highest priorities, and I was very, very pleased that working with Argentine officials and civil society, we did make some significant progress in that country in taking on this problem. It's a very, very serious problem for Mexico, for its Central American neighbors. The government of Mexico recognizes that trafficking is a serious problem. It's taken steps to stop traffickers, to prosecute them, to assist victims, but there's more that clearly that needs to be done. Right now, the capacity needs to be bolstered in Mexico. There's very good will, and there are very good individuals. Secretary Clinton recently recognized a prosecutor from Mexico for her efforts to get the first convictions in trafficking cases. What I could say is that we need to continue to be good partners. Sometimes that's providing technical assistance, training, sometimes equipment, and encouragement. But the real efforts, of course, has to be on the part of the Mexican officials to strengthen their practices, to get all of their law enforcement people really to give this the priority that it deserves. And it is going to be an ongoing effort, and if confirmed, it will be a priority for me.
Senator, I would echo Ambassador Wayne's comments about this being a high priority for me if confirmed. Guatemala has come a ways in improving their record. They were on a Tier 2 watch list, and they're now to Tier 2. And that is because there's a government-financed shelter for adults and primarily women that they constructed in the last year that has gone a long way to addressing this problem. Too often when we look at security initiatives, I think we overlook a gender perspective. And I'm grateful to our Congress that has encouraged legislative reforms in Guatemala to bring Guatemala into line with international standards regarding discrimination and violence against women. Guatemala is underfunding the units necessary for investigating these horrible crimes, and in particular, child sex tourism is something they need to pay more close attention to. Again, if confirmed, this is an area that my team and I will be actively engaged in.